Hi everybody. The topic of this video is when caregivers don't matter. How the primary caregiver can develop strategies to get family support for elderly care or to figure out other options. Family caregivers, spouses, and adult children are asking how to get support when nobody seems to want to help, when siblings have just disappeared. In these situations, caregivers can feel like they don't matter, that their needs are unimportant, that nobody else in the family cares about them or what they're doing. In this video, I'll share background about why family caregivers fail to receive support and help from family members, and what caregivers can do to make sure that care is available for the person who needs care, even if this person can no longer be the caregiver. Let's start with why caregivers don't receive family support. Setting aside cultural beliefs and expectations that one person has to do it all, which can end with the current generation if there is someone strong enough to stand up and say no. Some caregivers have asked for help. Maybe they've received a no and then they asked again. And others asked for help, but the help was so vague that nothing happened. And so in family situations where a caregiver is just expected to do it, one caregiver, another family member is going with their life and they ignore what's happening and they're not helpful, this can lead caregivers to feel that they don't really matter, that their needs and their lives are unimportant and they have to sacrifice. The sacrifice and the duty can be very much related to cultural and family expectations. But that doesn't mean that it has to continue to be a belief or a role that a caregiver fills. Now, all of this happens usually because the caregiving situation, it's going so well, and if there are problems, nobody else but the caregiver sees them because it's the caregiver solving the problems. This happens a lot in spouse-caregiver situation. Other family members don't worry about their parent because everything seems fine. Mom or dad's not telling them how stressed out they are or how burned out they are or what's going on, because problems and all these worries are managed by the caregiver. And so people on the outside may think everything's okay, honestly, if the caregiver is not speaking up. They may not even realize there is a problem or a blow-up about ready to happen. If this is your first time on my channel, I'm Pamela D Wilson. I'm a professional caregiving expert and advocate with 25 years of experience helping adults and their caregivers manage through the health, financial, and legal aspects of caregiving, including navigating all of these complicated family relationships. I also serve as an expert witness for law firms in litigation matters. You can learn about me and my professional background by visiting my website, PamelaDWilson.com, or going below this video and clicking on some of the links. Please do like this video, follow my channel, share it, comment, even if it's only to say thank you. One little thank you makes a huge difference to help other people find their way here. So in caregiving, there's a long-standing saying, and really this saying is anywhere in life, that if you want something, a quality, you first must be that quality. So when we think about caregiving, help, receiving help, giving help, it's an interesting quality because caregivers help the person who needs care. They give and they give and they give and they give to their own detriment, where they get sick and emotionally and physically exhausted. Now the problem is that this caregiving, giving and giving and giving, is a one-sided relationship where the caregiver can expect to receive care and gets used to being taken care of. So they don't do anything to help themselves or to make life easier for the caregiver. And in some situations like dementia or Alzheimer's, they can't. This person cannot care for themselves. And so because these caregiving relationships become all-consuming, they can go to 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. And so this caregiver who is honestly living and breathing this idea of giving and giving and helping becomes invisible because they're so busy Nobody else hears from them. They don't talk to family members. They don't ask people for help because they're just too busy. And honestly, they're just too exhausted. Caregivers in these situations become angry, resentful, critical of others. They feel unappreciated. And the caregiver, on the other end, they can also feel isolated because nobody else is showing up to visit. Nobody else is showing up to help. And their caregiver, living with this person is no picnic. My caregiver who helps me is always impatient or angry or exhausted. Well, let's look at this from both sides. In this situation, the care receiver, who has their mind about them and their wits about them, has the option to help themselves out of this challenging caregiving situation that they got themselves into by allowing other people to help, by expecting other people to help. They can ask their 5 other children for help. They can make phone calls to inquire about services. Caregiving really is a two-way street. It all can't be blamed on the caregiver. Everything that goes wrong cannot be blamed on the caregiver because the care receiver has an equal amount of responsibility for their own care, their actions, and their health. One person in any area of life, caregiving, marriage, I don't care what it is, work, they should never become so reliant on another person that if that person disappears, they can't take care of themselves. That's a problem. So what happens? The unappealing qualities of this caregiver, anger, resentment, impatience, anxiety, they become the overriding qualities of that caregiver and of the caregiver's life. So of course, nobody wants to help somebody who's angry or frustrated all the time. They'd rather run the other way, which is probably exactly what siblings and other people have done. So the other quality that goes with the ability to receive help is gratitude. People who want to help, people who help people want to feel like they make a difference and somebody is grateful, which is honestly why caregivers do this in the first place. But sometimes the care receiver, they don't express gratitude. They're not grateful. They don't say thank you. They just expect and expect and expect. So the poor angry caregiver over here who's feeling unappreciated can find it impossible to feel grateful for anything. What do I have to live for? I have a miserable life. Nobody appreciates me. The person I care for doesn't even appreciate me. How on earth did I get myself into this miserable situation? So everybody avoids contact with this caregiver, right? Because they're like not a happy person. They're angry all the time. Appreciation. It's the one thing in life. Being grateful. It's the one thing in life that can change crazy caregiving situations. Now, in these situations, if you're the caregiver, right, you're not feeling appreciative, you're not feeling grateful. That's normal. But you can change this for yourself. So what can you do as a caregiver? You've got to look at your actions and how you got to this place, right? Just as the person who needs care has to do the same thing. Two-way street. Look at your patterns of being helpful and why you're too helpful and how you've worked yourself into this situation. And then figure out how to work yourself out. Review your pattern of asking for help and support. What happened in the past? Did people say no? Did they say they didn't have time? Did you ask a second time or a third time? Did you make a phone call, send an email, call, or text? Did you actually talk to somebody and say, gosh, I really, really, really need this help. It's so important. My health is suffering. My emotional health is suffering. I don't know if I can keep doing this. I just need a day off. Can you help me? Right? Sometimes you got to be so honest about the situation. And then other times, because people don't know what you do, they have no idea what you're doing, do you have a list of tasks you can share with other people to see if they might be able to help you? Like, can somebody do grocery shopping or pick up prescriptions once a week? Can they come and sit with mom and dad on Saturday morning for 2 hours? Can they give you a day off? I know you're busy, but asking for help can give you a little relief and can give you some time to yourself. So might there be a need to establish regular communication and requests for help? Might there be something on your calendar that says, gosh, on Saturday morning from 10 to 12, I'm calling people and I'm asking them to help and I'm asking them exactly what I want them to do. Sometimes that time that you set aside can be so beneficial because it's not like you can immediately turn on this light switch and expect people showing up to help you, right? Communicating care needs, asking family to help, requires consistency and follow-up. And if they can't, or they refuse to help, just ask them to be blunt and say, look, I can't help you and I don't want to help you. Then you take that person off your list and you go to the next person. Or you start researching community services. Number 2 on this list of things to help yourself is, how often have you helped another person such that they might want to return the favor? Now this leads to the obvious, right? The person the caregiver takes care of should be the most obvious source of help and support. It's the spouse who needs care. It's the elderly parent who needs care. It's the grandparent who needs care. Somehow they can help themselves. Even though you've done it all for them, even though you've taught them otherwise, maybe it's time to teach them to start helping themselves more. So in addition to this couple of hours that you schedule into your calendar every week to say, it's time for me to call people, ask people for their help, all of that, is it time for you to teach your parent to do more things for themselves if they can? Maybe they've become too reliant on you. Maybe they've lost confidence in their abilities. It's time to build all that back up. And the only way to do this is to understand how everything got off track. In caregiving and relationships, there is helping and there's helping too much. Caregivers can teach a spouse or an elderly parent to rely and depend on them too much. Then what happens? The caregiver becomes angry when the care receiver doesn't want to do anything for themselves. Caregivers can be overly helpful, but the person they're harming is themselves. Don't become overly helpful. Don't teach people to be dependent on you. There's a big difference between helping somebody who's truly in need and cannot do something and enabling someone to continue in harmful patterns of depending on you, of self-neglect, bad behaviors. And while we like to think that nobody in our family is going to have these behavior patterns, it happens as much to the caregiver as to the care receiver. Caregivers neglect their needs by placing the needs of the person they care for above them. It's a great way for caregivers to say to others, including the person they care for, you know what? My life doesn't matter. Take advantage of me. I'll sacrifice everything. I'll ruin my life and my health and my well-being to take care of you. What person in their right mind would do that? It's not logical. Older adults, especially those with memory loss or mental health conditions, can participate in self-neglect or self-abuse and not even realize it because they can't recognize the effect on other people and they can't really help themselves. They forget to bathe, forget to eat, forget to take medications, forget to do all these kinds of things. And because they have memory loss, they don't even know what's going on. So regardless of where you are in this, caregivers don't matter. It's time to change direction. You help other people, they help you back. Figure out how to make this work. What thing can your spouse or your mom or your dad start doing for themselves so that you can do more things for yourself? Is it necessary for you to go outside of the family to hire an in-home caregiver to assist with things if the person you care for cannot do more? Is it time to look for a care community? Believe me, you will start to matter more when a spouse or a parent has to pay somebody to do all of the things that you've been doing for years. Your loved one can probably do more for themselves than they admit. Or they can hire somebody else to help them. It's time to make you as the caregiver matter and to do things for yourself that matter. So, again, if you realize that you haven't been asking people for help, schedule time every week to ask people for help. Ask them to do specific things. Ask them if they really can commit to help. If they can't, take them off your list. Put somebody else on the list. Investigate outside services. Change your mind about being angry and feeling unappreciative to saying, look, I'm in control here. I'm done being angry. I'm done being unappreciated. I'm done feeling like my life doesn't matter. My life does matter. And so these are the things that are going to have to change. It's the only way that you can do it. To do that, sometimes you have to emotionally distance yourself from the outcome. Have a family meeting, invite everybody, set ground rules for good behaviors. Focus on the daily needs of the person who needs care and ask for help. Set an end date for your caregiving. Mom or Dad, I'm doing this for 3 more months, then I'm out. Here's my letter of resignation. It's dated, it's signed. I'm sending it to everybody in the family so nobody is surprised. It's time now that my life matters because my life has not mattered for so long. Then you'll find out if anyone is willing to step up to help Mom or Dad, or if you have to find another source of assistance for them. Whatever the outcome, do your best and realize that you can't control the outcome. You can't control your siblings helping or not helping. You can't control your parent helping or not helping themselves. Set up the situation, provide options, and go make you matter. Regain the confidence that you matter and that it's okay for you not to be that full-time caregiver or in some situations to be the caregiver at all. Believe that there are other sources of assistance out there, even if it doesn't come from your family. Outside help can have its challenges, but that's no reason not to try, not to set it up, and not to suggest that as an option. I thank you all so much for being here for this video about making caregivers matter. I'm Pamela D Wilson. I'm a caregiving expert, advocate, and speaker with 25 years of experience. My website is PamelaDWilson.com. Please do like, follow this video, share my channel, comment, even if it's only to say thank you. Your participation helps other people find their way here. If you're interested in scheduling a one-on-one consultation with me, click on the links below this video or go to my website, PamelaDWilson.com. Click on the Support Services tab and go to Elder Care Consultation. You can fill out a form there. I'll see you all again soon in another video.